ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ੋ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਅਰੁਣ ਗਰਗ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਸਿਨੀ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟ ਨੇ, ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਆ ਕੇ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ 8, 9, 10 ਜੂਨ ਨੂੰ ਜੋ ਇੱਕ ਬੜੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਅਤੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲਿਸਟ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਹੈਲਥ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਕੀ ਫਾਇਦੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਆਓ ਕੁਝ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਅਰੁਣ ਗਰਗ ਤੋਂ। Dr. Sir, welcome to the program.
Oh, very pleased to be here,
Thank
as
you.
always.
Thank you. So now the time is coming near, and 8th, 9th, 10th, for which you have been working so hard, is going to fructify. So tell us in details to our viewers, because all our viewers will not be able to come, but definitely the discussions which you're going to are going to have a major impact on the health sector of India and Canada. So basically, Cine organizes this conference every 4 years. What is the purpose behind organizing this conference?
It all started with a passion that we have a problem, Charlie.
Right.
So let's fix it. Rather than just saying we have a problem, we need to do something.
Right.
So a problem essentially is chronic diseases. Our system is very good in acute care.
Right.
We are second to none in terms of when you are acutely ill. So I focus personally, I felt that there is a need to engage in the chronic diseases.
Right.
And whole purpose was that engagement has to be with people. So Cine whole vision is how we could increase awareness, how we could engage people themselves.
Right.
So we organize these meetings to lower the burden of chronic diseases, to build healthy civil society
Right.
through engagement and education and technology.
Absolutely. And of course, now when you talk about chronic diseases, and no doubt in Canada we are advanced in many fields, but we also lack in a few things, and that is where, when cooperation between India and Canada can be developed, that's what you focus
Exactly. The reason we organize this meeting, and particularly this one, is we are focusing on chronic diseases like diabetes, depression, and palliative care.
on. Right.
And then bringing in technology and leadership issues, how they apply.
Right.
And the other thing which always been our interest is there some learnings where we could learn from ancient Indian medical knowledge,
Right.
and is that applicable if modernized?
Right.
Is that applicable in modern society? So we're going to have sessions on integrative medicine.
Right.
The whole sessions will be taped, and then we will have them on YouTube.
Okay.
So this will then allow general members of the community
Right.
to be able to watch them.
Oh, that's really wonderful, commendable, because of course all the knowledge which is going to be disseminated over there can be watched later on through YouTube.
Absolutely. The other thing, Harpreet Bhai, is the whole conference has been designed with outcome in focus.
Okay.
So it's not like a regular conference where you go, somebody comes, an expert from out of town with slides and a briefcase, give the lecture,
And goes
away.
right.
That's not the purpose.
Okay.
So what we have a very unique innovation. So we have regular speakers,
Right.
and then we have chairs of the session, but we have designated hitters, what we are calling champions. So every session has a champion who have been chosen because they have great passion for the subject,
Right.
and they are responsible for delivering some of that content right here in British Columbia.
Okay.
So they have jobs, full-time jobs, whose job is to make some things better, and they have kindly agreed to volunteer to be our champions.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And then idea is that some of the recommendations made, then these people will support us, help us to carry them forward. And we could talk a little bit about when we talk about specific topics.
Absolutely, what
to
all is
explain.
going to be
Yeah.
discussed. But Dr. Garg, you have been a pioneer in this field. You have been to India many times. You have been working very hard to make this conference a success, and that is why the best brains of both the countries in their own respective fields are coming and going to speak on issues which matter. Now, as you said, all this will be available on YouTube later on. But also, is there going to be some time later on when, whatever is discussed, whatever is talked, to take it to the further level, because one thing is to talk as to further having cooperation between India and Canada, but to take a next step, then you have to work. And that is why where you come into picture, whereas you will be going to India, you have been before, you will be going there again, and also trying to bring these things into practice. So what do you plan to do on those grounds?
You know, I have to share with you, because I started with great enthusiasm
Right.
that Canada, India, we can bring together. It's a mammoth task. I have no illusions
Right.
how difficult that is.
Right.
So my primary focus now is what can we do in our own backyard.
Right.
Because we have a large South Asian population here.
Right.
We have lots of issues our own.
Absolutely.
And there is a real desire to make those better.
Right.
And the other thing is, anything I'm talking about, any topic we are talking about, is not only applicable to South Asian population, it applies to general population.
Oh, absolutely.
The issue of diabetes,
Right.
issue of obesity, issue of addiction, they're applicable to everyone. So lessons learned are always there for everybody. So my own thinking is, let's make sure that we have some action in projects right here in our backyard, and then whatever we could do in India, we do. But it's very slow and very difficult. But good thing is, at this conference, we now have partnership with GAPIO,
Okay.
which is the Global Association of Physicians of Indian Origin.
Right.
So I'm going to challenge them to say, look, you have this large organization.
Right.
Why not we kind of collaborate rather than everybody doing their own things?
Absolutely.
Let's identify some very specific areas
Right.
and then take it.
Wonderful.
So I'm more hopeful.
Well,
that
that's a
might
very
play
good concept, because one alone cannot do everything.
Oh,
but then
absolutely.
definitely, if we are able to settle some things in our own homeland, that will be much beneficial for the people living over here as well as in India also. Let's go for a short break. We'll be back and learn as to what is happening on 8th, 9th and 10th of June. ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਕਰਟੀਅਸ ਕਸਟਮਰ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਲਈ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਜ ਪਾਰਕ ਕਨਵੈਨਸ਼ਨ ਸੈਂਟਰ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ 700 ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 1200 ਵਿਅਕਤੀਆਂ ਲਈ ਬਰਥਡੇ, ਐਨੀਵਰਸਰੀ, ਬ੍ਰਾਈਡਲ ਸ਼ਾਰ, ਇੰਗੇਜਮੈਂਟ, ਵੈਡਿੰਗ ਜਾਂ ਆਫਿਸ ਪਾਰਟੀ, ਐਗਜ਼ੀਬਿਸ਼ਨਸ, ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਲਾਂਚਸ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੋਰੇਟ ਇਵੈਂਟਸ ਕਰਵਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤ ਇੰਟੀਰੀਅਰ ਤੇ ਬਿਹਤਰੀਨ ਐਮੈਨਿਟੀਜ਼, ਲਾਜਵਾਬ ਖਾਣਾ, ਫ੍ਰੈਂਡਲੀ ਸਟਾਫ, ਸਪੇਸ਼ੀਅਸ ਬੈਂਕਟ ਹਾਲ, ਖੁੱਲੀ ਪਾਰਕਿੰਗ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਮਿਲੇਗੀ ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬੈਸਟ ਪੋਸੀਬਲ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ। ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਅਗਲਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਰਾਓ। Once again, welcome back to the program. Prevention is better than cure. We have always heard about this idiom. But in practice now, this is what is being focused by CINI in their conference, which is being held on 8th, 9th and 10th of June. What all is going to happen? Let's learn from Dr. Arun Garg. So Dr. Garg, 8th, 9th and 10th is the major, 3 days when participants are coming and they're going to talk about. So tell us what all is happening on all these 3 days.
So sessions are divided into 4.
Okay.
And 8, we have unique idea of what you're calling round table.
Right.
So not only we have 4 detailed sessions, but we have 2 round tables.
Okay.
First one on technology, use of technology, leadership, and nurses training.
Right.
And what we do there is have 8 or 9 experts, bring them, combine them, and have them meet each other from Canada and India.
Okay.
And hopefully there will be some projects out of that. So that's the 2 round tables, 8 during the day
Right.
and 11th during the day.
Okay.
Then we have 9th and 10th are the main sessions.
Right.
So conference divided into 4 sessions. First one is on chronic diseases.
Right.
And in it we'll be covering what we are calling war on diabetes. And interestingly, 4 speakers, 2 like Indian speakers and local speakers.
Okay.
And non-medical intervention to lower diabetes.
Okay.
The role of diet,
Okay.
the role of nutrition. Our own work from Fraser Health, they had Daljit Wayne's work in temples and gurdwaras and how to do that behavior modification.
Right.
There is a pharmacist who has devoted a lot of energy now of his own to see can they take people off medications when they are diabetic through diet manipulation.
Right.
So we'll be hearing about that.
Okay.
Dr. Thakur, who is a professor at PGI, Chandigarh. He's coming because he's very interested in non-communicable diseases and talk about diabetes.
Right.
Our own Dr. Guljar Chima, who has done a tremendous amount of work in engaging general community through focus groups and through conference, will be sharing that.
Okay.
Then we're taking it to the next level of palliative care.
Right.
As you know, BC has been leader in palliative care.
Right.
And under the leadership of Dr. Simon Sutcliffe, who is working in palliative care in cancer control around the world, there is some opportunity to work in India.
Okay.
So they have a very active program in India. So we are bringing two experts, one sharing the experience of India,
Okay.
and one here, and see how we could learn
Right.
from each other. The other part of palliative care is philosophical concept of life and end of life.
Right.
And I think there is an emerging belief system that maybe East and West can learn from each other
Absolutely.
about end of life.
Right.
So hope that something interesting and productive will come out of that session.
Right.
The other session is on addiction and the mental health.
Right.
I would say if you were to ask me, Arun Bhai, what are the major issues in the world today? I would say mental health will be
yes.
right at the top.
That's right.
Loneliness. UK government now has a ministry of loneliness.
Right.
As our technology is increasing, so is increasing.
Aloofness is increasing,
We
absolutely.
are connected on one hand.
Oh, yeah, but we are
we're
disconnected.
Totally the other
Absolutely.
hand.
Absolutely.
So we'll be talking about that. And
Wonderful.
again, local experience. There is a special clinic. We are very fortunate to have a gentleman by the name of Suman Kalapura, who has done a lot of work on mental wellness.
Right.
So we'll be hearing those. Then we take it to the next level of leadership.
Right.
One other thing I found over the last few years in India that Canada can take to India is the concept of professionalism, ethics,
Right.
quality processes, and leadership. So we have a whole session on leadership. We are very fortunate to have two major leaders from India, Dr. Arvind Lal, who runs the biggest lab, and Dr. Anupam Sivil, who is the chief medical director at Apollo.
Right.
And then two of our own from here, Graham Dixon, who you interviewed last time,
Right.
and Dr. Bob Ollard, who is doing international work in journal practice, professionalism,
Right.
ethics. So we're going to combine all that in all 2 hours and put together, and every session has its champion,
Okay.
who are then assigned to bring some essence out.
Right.
Then that will take care of Saturday. Then we're going to have some fun through our signature banquet,
Okay.
which I'm glad to share with you. It's totally sold out.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's about 400 people,
Right.
and we are hoping that we will again send a message that really chronic diseases and how Canada and India,
Right.
as two great nations, can come together. So there are some PowerPoints about India and
Right.
Canada. So really exciting event. A little different than our regular
Conferences.
Bollywood type of events, but
Right.
it should be fun.
Great.
And the next day we have our two more sessions. And as I said before, I have a strong view, and this is my personal view, that Western medicine, though, is second to none.
Right.
But I think we could use some holistic, integrative approach
Absolutely.
to look at the patient as a whole
Right.
and put more emphasis on prevention and health promotion. And this is where I am very impressed with the knowledge of yoga
Right.
and pranayam and breathing and meditation
Right.
and Ayurveda. So we're bringing some experts. We have some experts who are doing some work with Chinese medicine, so they'll talk about it.
Okay.
And then there are a couple of practitioners locally who are using this in their own clinics.
Okay.
So we will be having them. Cancer group Inspire has this,
Right.
where they use it as a supplementary work. So they'll share their knowledge with us. Nutrition, fast food. We'll be talking about that, how that comes together.
Okay.
So it'll be a good practical session. And because I'm so passionate about it, I have become the champion of that session.
Wonderful.
So
That's
I'm
really
going to
good.
take it
Well,
forward.
in actuality, the East is going to meet the West because the best of both the worlds is going to be talked about
Yeah.
over there. And then the sum result is going to be that something concrete will come out of it and the normal people will benefit from that. Dr. Garg, you have always been a champion espousing this noble cause. We wish you the best of luck. And of course, this conference, as in 2014, is going to be a grand success, but this time it's a bit different than the last one. So as you said, something from the east, something from the west, so it's going to be discussed. Congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you.